Alright, I have a Nook, and truth be told, I love the damn thing. I like the way it feels inside my hands, and how I can swipe the pages like a real book, and how I can use it to browse online, and how I can put it in a pretty case and carry a week's worth of reading all in my man purse. All in all, I'd say the lifestyle afforded by the Nook has made me fall in love with reading again. Hell, sometimes I even take the thing out just so I can be seen with it. She's all like, "Oh my god, is that like an iPad or something?" And I'm like, "Actually, it's called a Nook, and it's for reading." And she's like, "Wow, you're so intellectual and iconoclastic and stuff. Wanna make smooches?" Yeah, alright. It's bound to happen one day. Anyway, I had a gripe in mind. Keep in mind that I'm mostly talking about the Nook because that's what I own, but a lot of what I'm going to say can be applied to all readers, including the Kindle and the Kobo. You see, sometimes I want to put down the sexy intellectual reading and escape into something a little more fantastic with one of my other loves, comic books. I love comics, but they don't really work on the Nook for two reasons. A, because the pages of a physical comic book are too big, so sometimes the resizing smooshes the text to an unreadable size. And two, because the Nook is black and white, you'd be missing out on a lot of the comic experience. And I realize that there's a Nook color now, but that's not really where my gripe lies. See, while American-style comic books don't really agree with the Nook, Japanese manga converts perfectly. The pages of a manga are about the same size as the Nook's or any other e-reader's screen, and are almost exclusively black and white. Basically, the Nook and Japanese manga are best pals. Yay! But Vincent, I hear you shout enthusiastically at your computer screen. That doesn't sound like much of a gripe at all. That sounds like a compliment, if anything. Alright, dude, well, 1, stop talking to machines when nobody's around, and B, I'm getting there. The problem arises with the availability of the stuff. Most scans and translations, or scanlations, of Japanese manga are done by fans for free on rather amateur websites. Honestly, the quality is usually quite good, but it leaves the availability up to the discretion of the scanlators. Whatever they want to translate is what gets translated. This results in libraries that are eclectic and incomplete. There are different naming and formatting schemes between many of the independent websites. Finding a collected volume of any one manga can be a bit of a task. Now, I mean, I've found a few ways around all the confusion because I'm a clever Gen Yer whose determination is only rivaled by his own nerdery. But it sometimes takes as many as 3 different third-party softwares to get the image files organized and formatted into something that the Nook can handle. What I don't understand is, why are websites like One Manga and MangaHelpers.com being shut down or forced to remove their content when, as far as I'm aware, there is no legal alternative to buying digital manga for e-readers? E-readers are a great technology, but the thing that's going to be the stake through their little silicone hearts is all the confusion about how to get the damn content onto them. I mean, think about explaining to your mother why compiled CBZ folders will look nicer than a PDF and why this .azw file works on Sharon's Kindle but not her Nook. On a side note, engineers, let's do our best to get scent technology into these things so we can still get that old book smell out of our e-readers too. Manga publishers are doing to readers now exactly what major record labels did when Napster came out in 1999, turning fans into pirates rather than paying customers. I can't speak for all manga readers, but I for one do not at all mind paying for manga and acquiring it legally. It's simply a problem of availability. And yeah, the city where I live has a pretty good dedicated manga store for paper versions, but I bought this damn Nook, and now I want to be able to use it and go out for tea with it and pick up cute otaku chicks with it. One day. Someone needs to do for manga what iTunes did for music. Everything in one place. Back issues, niche series, everything. And available in any or all of the various e-reader formats. When I went to Tokyo last year, some manga were selling for as little as 150 yen, probably averaging around 500, which I think would be a fair price for a single issue should a legitimate official store be established. Maybe you'd even get a deal if you bought the whole series with one click of a button. Now, I'm sure the publishers would incur some kind of cost from overseas licensing of their material and establishing a web store, and of course they need to pay someone to do all that scanlating, but that's just the thing. If some Japanese dude and his buddies are doing this stuff in their West Virginia basements accurately and on a weekly basis and for free out of the goodness of their hearts, there's no reason an officially licensed team of hired professionals couldn't do the same thing. Yeah, I realize some of the sites are starting to venture out into this territory too. Amazon now has a small selection of manga available online, but as far as I can tell, when you buy the digital copy, it comes to you through the WhisperNet on Kindle's proprietary format, which leaves my Nook and I in the dark. eManga.com has an interesting rent manga service, but unfortunately their library is a little, limited, and is only good for people who want to read this kind of stuff. So you know what, manga publishers? Until you all figure out a way to make your catalogs available online through an e-reader friendly service, being a pirate is alright with me. Oh, and P.S. Barnes & Noble, get your shit together and let international buyers use your web store already. Christ.